The samurai, a legendary warrior like no other. His mastery of military strategy and combat enables him to dominate Japan from the 12th to the late 19th centuries.
What makes the samurai so special and different is both their dedication and their indoctrination to martial arts. Martial arts as a lifestyle and a mindset allows them to now apply all of this training into their swordsmanship, into their battlefield tactics. No one else does this the way that samurai do it.
It's not just that they were superior fighters, but it's also the way of the samurai that intrigues us. These principles of loyalty and honor that are so central to the samurai's identity.
The journey to becoming a samurai will require years of brutal training.
Some source says the samurai used to train in complete darkness. You might get attacked by some other samurai when you're on street in darkness. You have to prepare yourself. There are also other practical reasons to do this darkness training. You might injure yourself like above your eye and blood might cover your eyes. It's a useful skill.
The young warrior studies the tactics and techniques of those who have gone before him. And when he is ready to join them in the ranks of his clan's samurai army, there is a sacred ceremony.
Genpuku is the coming of age of a samurai. It's usually in the late teens. They would take the samurai hairstyle, they'll shave the pate, and they'll grow their hair out long and put the hair in the top knot.
This ceremony marks a young man's formal beginning as a full samurai. He'll likely receive his kabuto, or helmet.
They get a new name, and once you go through that process, that means you are ready to go to war as a samurai.
Years of intense training transform a boy into a fearsome warrior. Now he is ready to use some of the most lethal weapons ever forged.
Around 1000 AD, the sword that we now know as a samurai sword adopts a form which is initially a tachi, and it actually is primarily a cavalry sword.
The samurai is on horseback. He's charging through the battlefield, and he has to have a longer sword, a great sword. He has to swipe down, taking the enemy with him, left and right. As the battlefield gets closer and everybody's fighting closer, the samurai cut their tachi down to create the katana. And that's where we get the iconic sword of the Japanese warrior.
The katana blade is about 32 to 36 inches in length. It's a single-edged blade. It's slightly curved. An authentic katana sword. They're not as heavy as people might think. In the hands of a proficient wielder, it can cleave a person in half, and it feels like butter. You're cleaving through butter. It's terrifying and incredible at the same time. The way it's constructed, it's truly a piece of art.
A good samurai sword should be flexible, and it should be able to bend and return back to its shape. It should also be able to withstand being clashed against other swords and armor.
How well they maintain their space from their opponent, it's very, very important. If you're too close, it limits the ability of the katana to be useful to you. If you're too far, you can't reach your opponent. Where the armor can't protect your opponent, that's where you want to strike. At the shoulders, behind the knees, at the elbows. A truly skilled samurai will be able to deliver those blows with accuracy.
When a samurai recognizes that he is defeated by his opponent, he may request an end to the duel and to his life. Just as the samurai has studied the ways to kill his enemy in combat, he has also learned the ways of seppuku.
It's something that people in modern days have hard time understanding because there are different kinds of seppuku. It may be a very formal ceremony with time to prepare, to bathe in cold water, to write one's death poem, and to have witnesses to the event. But it can also be much more spontaneous. It can take place when they lose a battle and your opponent will grant you permission to do seppuku. It's basically the praise to say you fought well.
Seppuku involves taking your short sword and you cut from left to right, and you're supposed to show your true strength and honor. Remove your intestines.
You're not supposed to be crying out in agony. And there are even examples, probably apocryphal, of people reaching in and grabbing some of their intestine to show how manly they are.
In acknowledgement of his opponent's journey along the path of Bushido, the samurai victor may act as the other man's second to spare him further agony.
What this person is waiting for is for you to stop moving your head in pain, to straighten up, and then he'll take one slice to take your head off.
For the samurai, there's satisfaction at proving himself against a worthy opponent. There's also confidence that he's ready for the larger battles to come.
When the ruler Toyotomi Hideyoshi dies, there's no one to replace him. Similar to the Battle of Genpei, which launches the age of the samurai, there is once again a fierce battle between two rival warlords. It pits Ishida's samurai in the west against Tokugawa's army in the east. And that conflict reaches its conclusion on the battlefield of Sekigahara.
The Battle of Sekigahara is one of the largest battles of all Japanese history. It's a fight between the East and the West. Tokugawa Ieyasu is actually fighting against his old master's family. Even though he's promised to look after them, he's going for them.
Tokugawa decides to take power for himself. And essentially all of the warlords line up on one side or the other. This is the battle royale of all warlords picking a side and sussing it out on the field of Sekigahara.
Tokugawa knows he doesn't have the numbers, but he learns through spies that the enemy coalition is weak. The Western warlords don't respect their leader. Through diplomacy, Tokugawa exploits this to his advantage.
Tokugawa is kind of a sneaky politician. He's not necessarily good at combat himself, but he was just a real conniving strategist.
Tokugawa has a secret weapon. Through a series of letters, he offers land and titles to any enemy warlords who are willing to fight with his army.
Before the battle starts, he convinces an enemy warlord to switch sides. And he wants him to switch sides before the battle, but the warlord is cautious and begins the battle on the Western army side.
The battle begins. Tokugawa's samurai warriors face overwhelming odds.
It's a chaotic scene. There's fog, there's musket fire.
Records suggest that both sides use katana and muskets, along with cannon, and the effects are absolutely devastating. 30,000 samurai are killed in just 6 hours. So the Battle of Sekigahara is the battle that decides the future of Japan and also the leader of Japan.
The battle is a deadlock. But then, that reluctant warlord, who starts with the Western samurai, finally flips. He decides to switch sides and join Tokugawa and his army.
Other warlords on the Western side see an army moving to the other side, and so they jump ship as well and move over to the Eastern side.
With numbers now on his side, Tokugawa's Eastern army gains the upper hand.
After this happens, the battle is a rout. The Eastern army wins rather easily. The Western side is defeated. The Western leader, Ishida, is publicly executed.
His death and Tokugawa's victory marks the end of the period of warring clans.
Tokugawa, he takes all of Japan for himself, and he sets up the shogunate and the Tokugawa regime. This brings in a period of peace for 250 years.